Hello, and welcome to WMW's weekly newscast, bringing you the global waste management headlines. Coming up, waste from the production of the new Corvette Stingray recycled into stalactites for bat caves, the Resource Association on the true cost of contamination in recyclates, US Army base Fort Benning rolls out recycling collection service, and biomimicry competition seeks prototypes inspired by nature. As part of General Motors' waste reduction programme, John Bradburn, waste reduction manager at the company, has been looking at ways of recycling adhesive used in the manufacture of Chevrolet's new Corvette Stingray. Turns out that in spite of its looks, new Corvette may have more in common with the Batcave than the Batmobile. Here's why.
This is a waste reduction project that I think takes some creative reuse. We view waste as resources out of place, and when I seen this material, I immediately thought this material, which is an adhesive generated from our manufacturing processes, really kind of looked like a stalactite, something you might see in a cave. It's a thermoset material, meaning it's very difficult to recycle in a traditional way. So thinking about some of the challenges our bats are facing in the United States and other parts of the world, I thought this material might be helpful. We placed a bat on this material and we found that the bat took to it, clung to it, but they had a little bit of trouble hanging on. So in comes another byproduct, another waste, or another resource. This sort of material we brushed onto this structure, and what we ended up with was a structure like this. If we have more surface areas inside our caves with these in place, that'll allow for more disbursement. If we're able to put these in artificial caves as well, it'll also allow for populations to move out into other areas and continue working towards helping solve this very, very important issue.
The UK's Resource Association has published a video highlighting the problems being created for reprocessors by contamination levels in their recyclate feedstocks. The video hears from paper, aluminium and plastics reprocessors and offers advice on how to use information the association has made available regarding the quality requirements for recyclates and the impact of contamination on the value of those materials. Here's Novelis' Andy Duran explaining how contamination impacts aluminium recycling.
Contamination is a function of quite a few issues. It's about communication, so it's about local authorities, waste management companies getting the communication right with their householders and their systems. It's about system. It's about choosing the appropriate system, so a system that's capable of delivering high quality materials. You can do all the right things, but if you've just got one weak link in the chain, the quality can disappear. So it's about quite a few things to get a good high quality level of recycling. And the plant manager here has coined the term contamination is the enemy of recycling. So the main contaminants we receive, as we've seen going around the plant here, the predominant one is plastics. So when you get plastics mixed together, as you've seen today, it causes problems in our process. For every 1% of contamination we get a 2% commercial impact. That starts out pretty low. Actually, when you start getting further into the numbers, so when the numbers start getting to 2 or 3% contamination, the cost of the business accelerates away really, really rapidly. I'm a firm believer in communication and information being a driver for participation and action. I think communication, transparency, and the destination of those materials, I think the consumers understand that a little bit more, they buy into it a little bit more. It's about trying to get the systems that we've got better, making sure you do a due diligence and a really good thorough process on that to say, okay, is my material genuinely going to be suitable for a high quality process? And we like to think that actually with just some simple improvements in processes, all our local authorities in the UK can meet that.
In Columbus, Georgia, Fort Benning has rolled out a Blue Bin curbside recycling collection programme for the first time. The huge US Army base supports over 120,000 active duty military, as well as family members, reserve soldiers, retirees and civilian employees. Residents had been calling for a recycling collection scheme to be implemented, and bosses at the camp have made it happen. Here's more.
Army families asked and Fort Benning delivered, and now has created a template for military installations to follow suit. During the month of December, 1,100 tons of recycling was brought into the Columbus major recycling plant. 42 tons contributed by Fort Benning, and as a bonus, Fort Benning walked away with green credits.
By getting green credits on Fort Benning, there's a lot of different positive things that happen. One, we bring the green credits to the installation, so we get additional money for training. We get credit for our recycling. Every ton that we recycle goes into a pot at the Department of the Army because everybody's going green.
And the more materials Fort Benning recycles, the more credits the post receives. But the priority is to eliminate recyclable materials from entering landfills.
Instead of going into a solid waste landfill, it's something we can recycle and put back on the market. If you don't do that, your landfills fill up. Landfills are very expensive, $400,000 an acre. If you can recycle it and divert it out of your landfills, you save landfill space. And in Muskogee County, there will be no more landfills. This is the last landfill. It has got to last Muskogee County.
A competition to find innovative solutions to the problems of food waste and security of supply has been launched in the US by the Biomimicry Institute and the Ray C. Anderson Foundation. Beth Ratner, Executive Director at the Institute, noted that globally 1/3 of food produced for human consumption is currently lost or wasted. Not only is this having a negative environmental impact, but it threatens food security. The competition's organisers believe that nature's library of ideas holds the key to the solution.
People in sustainability are looking for two things. They're looking for a coherent vision of a world that works. They're also looking for a practical way to get there. And biomimicry provides both of those things.
It's just as clear as crystal. Our products are the very best they've ever been by far, because our product development people have been inspired by sustainable design, and especially biomimicry. Designing products we never would have dreamed of and that our competitors cannot imagine.
For WMW, I'm Ben Messenger. Thanks for watching.